Executive of Ndlovu, Dr. Hugo Tempelman. And as it's said all over the world, behind every successful man, there is a woman, a very powerful woman. Thank you, Licia. To another EXCO member of Ndlovu, Lawrence. And as you can see, Lawrence is a very present father at the back. And also to Lizal. Hello, Lizal. Thank you for keeping the fires burning. To the other executive member of Ndlovu, Poppy Mashamaite. And to the man of the moment, who put effort, dedication, time into what we see today, Ralph the Maestro. And when you are at other people's places, you need to acknowledge them. To the management of Emperor's Palace for giving us this venue for free. Thank you. You have shown that you are South Africans. It came from the heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if other corporates can follow your example, South Africa will be a better country. To the representative of Limpopo, you know, I started with people that really control us at an arm's length. So now I'm going to the people who really control us at a bigger level in Limpopo. Thank you very much for representing Limpopo government. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm going to give this chance to the ladies and gentlemen of the media. It's your turn to ask questions, and Josh will guide accordingly. Thank you.
Cool, thank you guys. Thank you for all turning out this evening. And who would like to take the first stab at the table this evening? Cool. Well, then I'm going to start the proceedings this evening by asking Ralph a question and asking him, what was it like to perform on the world's biggest talent show?
Yeah, well, firstly, good evening, everybody. We were absolutely gobsmacked when we walked out of OR Tambo. It was emotional. It was, our hearts swelled with pride. And they swelled with pride the whole time while we were there as proud South Africans. I think, for me personally, going on the stage, to me, this group was just representing what the youth of South Africa can be. When you give someone an opportunity and you say to a young person, be the best version of yourself that you possibly can be, that's the result. That's the power that our youth has. And as Morongwa mentioned, everybody involved that enabled us to do that. So standing there and seeing them on that stage, you had to pinch yourself. And I take my mind back there and you just get, sorry, you get so proud. You see these young people, you know where they come from. And you know that there's a loving community behind them. And to see them on that stage was just, we weren't nervous, we were just excited. There wasn't nerves, it was, so yeah, it was just immense pride. Pride as a South African and a very timely reminder that our future in South Africa is so bright, because every day we're reminded that it's not. And then these young kids go on the world's biggest stage and they tell everyone, Tula, this is us. This is South Africa. This is who we are. And we were very, very proud to do that. So pride, I suppose, is the overwhelming sentiment from me.
Bringing it now directly to Sandile. Sandile, maybe you can put a few words to the emotions that if you can put words to the emotions to describe your journey from your first edition, when you came home and you couldn't tell anyone about what you just done in the States, and to performing on the grand finale of America's Got Talent.
Yeah, if I take you guys back, it's been hectic. Going to that stage, firstly for the auditions, and seeing all the exciting things, working with big people and seeing the judges, we didn't believe, like Ralph has just said, that we had to pinch ourselves to like, guys, are we really here? And hearing all the good news that we made it to the next stage and keeping that to ourselves, coming back home, acting normal, and you know, they ask you what happened. You guys are gonna see, it's gonna play in a few weeks' time. I can't tell, you know, and proceeding to other stages, that's when we started seeing that, wow, we're actually important. This is actually it's actually bigger than we expected. And we started regaining strength, and the support, the messages from everyone back home, it's been amazing, and it's been pumping us up. And when we got to the finals, we were like, wow, we made it, guys, we made it. And we are proud to be the voices of a united, to be ambassadors of a united Africa and united youth of South Africa. We are grateful for the opportunity.
Thank you, Sandile. To the representative from the Limpopo government, when the choir first started taking to the media and the media first started gaining traction and knowledge of what the choir was achieving in America, what was your reaction, and how has the choir put the province and Africa and even South Africa on the map?
Thank you very much. As a province of Limpopo, we were following this choir. They didn't take us by surprise, but we knew from the day one that at least they will be going to higher places. But because as a province, already the MEC, in her budget speech, she has already dedicated to give this choir an art center. So obviously we are aware that these kids, maybe if they don't get number one, they're going to get number two. So the whole of Limpopo, they were behind the kids. And to that extent that on Monday next week, we are going to welcome them. The whole province is going to ascend to Ndlovu Ndlovu area to welcome our kids. So we're behind them all and praying for them and hoping that really, as a Limpopo, they've put South Africa, Limpopo, Africa as well on the map.
That they certainly have. Poppy, you work with the Greater Ndlovu Youth Group. You work with all of the choir members on a daily basis. You have for a number of years. Can you maybe tell us some of your emotions personally, but also the pride that you felt with seeing the journey and how these children and now rock stars, superstars have evolved in the last 8 months? Because not many people may know this, but the America's Got Talent journey has actually been since December 2019. So if you can try and put some words to that.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. I would like to start by thanking everyone who's been behind us for the period that he has just mentioned. I've been with this choir forever, from when they start with the first auditions in America. And then I went there not as an executive of Ndlovu Care Group, but as a mother to 24, 25 kids there. There's been a lot of emotions, but happy emotions, I must say, because after every step that they've been through, there were emotions, and I also got emotional at times, but we acted as one big family. These children, they looked at me, and then I always say to them, look at me and think of your mom back home or your granny. That is what it has been. Thank you.
Poppy, you opened by saying thank you. I think the entire South Africa owes you a massive thank you for everything that you do on a daily basis for the Ndlovu Care Group, so thank you. Hugo, if you can describe the journey that you have been on from a care group starting 25 years ago, put words to that, put words to what the choir's journey has been over the last 10 years, and also describe maybe how you have nurtured and grown the choir in terms of the broader care group and how the role that it plays inside the broader Ndlovu Care Group.
Thank you. It is overwhelming, that's one. Two, when Liesje and I started 25 years ago in Ndlovu Medical Center, we never thought it should grow out to what it is. And with everything happening in this country, in 2008, we decided for the orphan and vulnerable children to start a choir as a support and healing program. And by choosing Ralph as our leader, we brought excellence. And if you give these kids excellence, then you see what talent can grow out of it. I don't think that we started in Ndlovu Youth Choir, and it should be such a success. But what we are really doing is starting a movement. And Ndlovu Youth Choir is going to spread its wings. We have been asked by the MEC, as said by my colleague there, and we're going to build in Elandsdoorn, together with the Limpopo government, a school, an educational center, to educate choir conductors throughout Limpopo so that we get choral singing back as the heartbeat of our culture. Poppy just said how difficult the journey was, and we heard on this side the problems the kids had with the food in the United States. And we took 25 kilos of Super B with us to provide that extra vuma, what we wanted into this choir. And we ate pap and shiba on the grass of LA in Hollywood. And that made them stronger and stronger. So Super B, thank you very much for that. But where we are going is even more important. We just, before we walked into the press conference, Ralph got a phone call. I'm not that popular, Ralph gets all those calls, from Simon Cowell with the decision that AGT and Sony South Africa are going to work on an album as quickly as possible with the Ndlovu Youth Choir, and that's a major achievement. So from that little town of Elandsdoorn, which nobody knows, the area of Mutse, which nobody knows, government, you can't go around us anymore, the world can't go around us anymore, from a choir, today we say we started a movement where we bring singing and joy back in the difficult times South Africa is going through. And what I said tonight, if you put Bafana Bafana, the Bokker and Ndlovu together, we will assist our president in changing this country for the better.
Thank you, Hugo. Rachel, Hugo's just spoken about unity. Maybe you can tell the people gathered here this evening what it feels like to perform as a choir on the biggest stage. What it feels like as an individual to have that responsibility rest on your shoulders, and for the world to be looking on, down on Ndlovu Youth Choir, and what emotions and feelings might have come out when you saw those lights light up on the Dolby Theatre.
Well, firstly, I would like to say thank you so much to everyone. Thank you for the support. It felt really, I can't even explain how we felt when we went, the first time we went for the auditions. But then, as the young people of South Africa, we had to make sure that we give our best, and through our music we want to send or spread the word of love, or we wanted to spread hope for those who feel hopeless. And to be at the Dolby Theatre, it's amazing. It's something that we've never imagined as a choir, that we would go there and represent South Africa like we did. And not only South Africa, I've seen the messages on social media. It's the whole world. We feel really proud, and as the young ambassadors of a united Africa, we aim to spread love and hope. Thank you.
Thanks, Rachel. Sandile, can you maybe share with us what was your best experience of traveling overseas, of walking down the Hollywood Boulevard, and that stardom that lit up in front of you? What was the best experience out of that?
Well, my best experience was, thank you for asking. My best experience was walking on those streets of Hollywood and knowing where I come from, the dusty streets of Mute, and knowing that there's a whole bunch of people, there's young people, there's everyone, the whole world supporting us and believing in us. So walking in those streets and thinking that we are here to bring a change, to bring a positive message that they've never seen before, messages that they've never heard before, that made me happy. And one of the highlights when I look back to the performances was the last performance that we had, because we were celebrating there. To us, it was so special that it wasn't even a competition anymore. But we were just young stars from Mute, Limpopo, being on that world's biggest stage and making people cheer and just having fun, spreading joy and love. That, to me, was very special. Thank you.
Ralph, Hugo just alerted to some fantastic news that you've just received prior to walking into the press conference this evening. Could you maybe tell us a bit more about what the album means, and what does it mean from a choir perspective in terms of the future and the road ahead for the choir?
Yeah, I think we just literally got the news as one of the people from Simon Cowell's office phoned me and said that they would like to work together on an album which will be done through Sony Music South Africa. We obviously hope that the album will carry the spirit of the music. It will carry the spirit, that it will be, let me rather rephrase that it will be a platform for for us to spread our message even further than we have. That it gets streamed all over the world, and that that the whole world can hear. I think the whole world has kind of already heard, but that they can hear it again. But, going forward, what it means, I think we've got to use this opportunity and this platform that America's Got Talent has given us with great caution, great care, and great responsibility, because we're dealing with very special young people, and we need to ensure that this results in sustainable development and long-term development and employment and educational development, and that there's certainly not going to be albums being made and Ferraris, boards and Rolexes and popping of champagne. That's certainly not our champagne. That's going to be popped as a roof on a school or something like that, and that's how we're going to celebrate. And we're going to be very wise and responsible in how we go about that. But it's very early days to give details.
Thanks, Ralph. Rachel, I asked Sandile what his favorite moment was, and now asking you, do you have a favorite moment from your journey over the last 8 months?
Yes, my favorite moment is the last performance that we gave. Because when we went on that stage, we told ourselves that we have to give the best performance ever. That if we don't go through, we know that we gave our best. And yes, we may have not literally brought the prize back home, but the pride. So that was my best moment ever. And to meet Gabriela Union, I love her.
Poppy, you spoke about how you were a mother figure to the 25 choristers who were over in the States. On the choir's website, they list how they will bring and share infectious energy. How, as a mother figure, did you instill that in them and instill that in their day-to-day activities to make sure that over the last 7 weeks when they were away from home, that when they looked at you, they saw mother and they were reminded of home? And what little tricks or tips did you do to keep them motivated, to keep their energy levels high?
Thank you. My biggest trick was the pub days. On the days that we had to make pub, we made pub, shiba, and chicken. And then during that, some of you might have seen our posts on Facebook where they would sing like nobody have ever sing before the pub. They will raise their plates and sing and hug each other. My favorite days for team building spirit, for thinking about back in South Africa, was the days that we have had pub. But time and again, we'll come together, make circles, hug each other. And then you've asked Rachel about the team spirit. During that time in America, I've seen something that I've never seen from back home within these kids. They were like one big family of 25 siblings. Thank you.
Hugo, the choir is really so much more than just the 25 individuals that performed on the final of America's Got Talent. Can you maybe share a bit more about the community and what this achievement means to the community as a whole and the energy that it's bringing back? The representative from the Limpopo government spoke about how there have been bigger plans and how they've been following the choir through the journey that they've been on. And what does this mean from a community energy generator and looking forward into the next 25 years?
Well, nobody heard about Mutsa, and the whole community and the whole world now knows that community deserves all the support what they might need, because it has been a bit forgotten, because Limpopo sometimes didn't know that it was theirs and Mpumalanga didn't accept it because it wasn't theirs. But if these young ambassadors can be the ones who provoke government in not bringing champagne but water, not bringing art, not bringing nitty-gritties, but art, sports and culture, improved education, improved healthcare, that is what the community is crying for, and that is what we hope as ambassadors to put on the map. But if we are the vehicle who can provoke that, then I think the mission of the choir is more than completed. There is another mother who was all the time with the choir. And I'm not the one to promote my wife, because you already said that behind a strong guy stands an even stronger woman. But Liesje has always and sorted everything out, that everything went so fluid. And I would like to invite her to answer what her emotions were over the 6 weeks that you were at home.
Thank you. It's indeed that since March, I've been, I think, literally at every single rehearsal. I have seen the new songs grow. We were in the studio. I just invited myself to sit there. I had no reason to be there, but I had all the reasons to be there. Because this was the journey that I was going to do with my 25 children. And it's been amazing. We went to America for one time. Then we went for a second time. Then we were growing towards this journey in April, and the kids asked me, Liesje, for how long are we going to pack? And I said, I don't know. Probably for 2 weeks. If it's going really well, we pack for 4 weeks. And it's going insanely well, and we reach what we now think is the impossible. We have to go to the laundry. We went to the laundry 3 times, with pleasure, singing through the streets of LA. We never felt tourists there. We felt that we were a group with a mission. We were there to work. And I am extremely proud of the kids. working in the last weeks 8 to 10 hours a day. And the minors, 8 of them school-going kids, that had to do 3 hours of school compulsory. They never complained once. They took their school books and sat there and they went to school. And they did it. And they are so deep in my heart. And what my most beautiful moment is that when we went on the stage, I'm getting emotional now. When we went on the stage for the results, and we knew that we were in the top 10, but we were not in the top 5. But they were asked, please stay. And when everything is over, you go back on stage and you congratulate the winner. That's what they did. And then they started partying. Then they started congratulating themselves. They were the only ones that were singing their hearts out, because it's amazing. The finals of AGT. We've done it. And a lot of people said, what is happening now? Ndlovu didn't win, why are they singing? And we said they're singing because they're happy. We're going home.
I'm going to be respectful of people's time this evening, because we've also got some family members and members of the community from the care group here with us this evening, and they're waiting for us next door. I'm going to invite a member of the Empress Palace management team to share a few words with us this evening, and then we'll close the press conference after that.
Anybody wants to ask questions?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Empress Palace. On behalf of Empress Palace, would like to welcome back the Ndlovu Youth Choir, and we also would like to say thank you, and thank you for uniting South Africa using the universal language called music. And please keep up the good work. And you didn't do this for South Africa only, it is for Africa as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Apologies, maybe I spoke a bit prematurely there. Are there any direct questions that the media would like to ask the panel this evening?
Hi, my name is Malungelo Boy from Newsroom Africa. Maybe Usandile or Mahlatsi can answer this question. I mean, this experience, has it made you look at life differently? And also to you, Ralph, in terms of the performances or the songs that you decide to perform in each episode, how do